So crazy Rudy Giuliani was at it again, folks. He was trying to suggest on right-wing news that Donald Trump being investigated is unconstitutional, it's un-American, and like he and Trump have been arguing over the past few weeks, Donald Trump and people like him should be above the law.
So this is an investigation in search of a crime, not a crime that's being investigated. They've gone through his whole life searching for something they can make into a criminal act. That's a very, very dangerous thing to do in America. In fact, it's very anti-American and I think unconstitutional. I mean, we don't do it that way in America. We don't pick somebody and say, oh, gee, we're going to search your whole life and we're going to try to find a crime.
And so what he's trying to say there is what he's been saying for a while, which is that Donald Trump isn't being investigated on a particular crime. They're rather just looking into everything about Donald Trump on a witch hunt for a crime. But that's not true. Again, to get a grand jury, to get warrants, to get all of these sorts of things, you need to have a particular reason. Now, at the grand jury stage, you don't need to necessarily say what you're going to charge someone with or what the exact parameters of the alleged crimes are, but you can't just pull a random person and suggest without merit that you need to do a grand jury investigation. We've talked about this. The fight to get Donald Trump's taxes was years in the making for the DA in Manhattan. To get all of this information from Trump and Giuliani and the Trump organization probably cost millions of dollars of taxpayer money because Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani and their lawyers fought it every step of the way. And so you just don't get this stuff willy-nilly. And Rudy basically later on in this interview, he sort of does it here as well. He suggests that, they're just going back years and years and years to dig up dirt on Trump like that's some sort of unconstitutional process. But we have something to determine that, Rudy. It's called statute of limitations. If they're looking up something on Donald Trump that happened really long ago and it's too old to be relevant, that's why you have statute of limitation laws, to make it so that you can't charge somebody for something 50, 60 years ago unless it's extremely serious. So if Donald Trump isn't covered by a statute of limitations on a particular allegation against him, they're not going too far in the past. They're just making justice happen now when it should have happened years, if not decades ago. And so this really shows the desperation of Rudy, the desperation of Trump, because let's be clear, Rudy's an idiot. Rudy's a bit of a dum-dum. Rudy has gotten himself into a lot of trouble, but Rudy understands the law. Rudy was a very accomplished lawyer for decades. Say what you will about him. The man understood the law, and he knows every step of the way. What's happening here is 100% legal. It's above board. It's justified, and everything is being done by the book. If anything, more by the book, given the stakes and given the level of power and prominence that people like Trump and Giuliani have. And so this is him just playing to a low information crowd that will just buy anything he says, hook, line, and sinker, that supposedly this is unconstitutional. But Rudy, frankly, if I was Rudy, I would be shutting up, and I would be worried less about Donald Trump and him being picked on because Trump hasn't shown one bit of support to Rudy Giuliani. Rudy should be worried about his own cases, his own charges, because if anything, as likely as Donald Trump is to be in trouble, Rudy's likely in bigger trouble, and the hammer will fall on him first. If I was Rudy, I'd shut up, I'd lawyer up, and I'd flip on Trump. But Rudy might be too stupid to do that.